So today we're gonna look at the new Model Y and take it for a spin. We're coming at this, of course, as owners of the classic Model Y. We've owned it for 50,000 kilometers, almost 3 years, and we've road tripped this thing. We've daily driven this thing, so we know this platform very well. I'm super curious to see how the new one compares. Of course, the front and the rear is completely redesigned, but the side profile of the car is largely unchanged, I think. The headlights are now integrated into the bumper, and now there's a light bar that goes across kind of the fascia of the car. The rear, I think, in my opinion, is more interesting. It has another light bar that goes across the back, but it has a lot more depth to it, and it has this kind of red glow that goes across the entire back of the car. I really love it. I think, in my opinion, I would have the front of the old car and the rear of the new car. That might be my perfect Model Y. So let's dive in. So here we are in the new Model Y. So we can see there's a new steering wheel. And I think Tesla got in some trouble with the stocks on the new Model 3 where they took them all off. But I'm happy to see that there is a stock here in the back. But it is a lot thinner and kind of cheaper feeling than our old Model 3, I mean Model Y. There is, however, no gear selector stock now. It's front and back swipe or tap to park. I don't know if I like that actually. And wipers, today's a really rainy day. Wipers are over here now. We're gonna leave it in auto. I don't love Tesla auto wipers. Let's see if they're any better in the new one, but I don't know if it's really gonna be any better. I think the screen seems to be pretty much the same as the old car. There is a new ambient lighting strip that is not active right now. We can't really see it in the daytime anyway. What else is here? The mirror is a carryover. This looks all the same. The dimensions are the same. The seats, however, I think are both now heated and cooled. So yeah, now I can cool my seat. So that'll actually be really nice in the summer. That would be really nice to have in our old car, but oh, I can really feel that now. But otherwise, a lot of this is the same. So let's take it for a spin, see what this updated suspension is all about. And we're gonna take it on some really bumpy roads just to see what this is like. Because the Model Y is not like class leading in like any specific thing, but it is a really good overall package. That's why these things are selling by the millions. All right, the first bumps we just hit, I can actually tell this is a much smoother ride. So the seating position, I don't think changed much at all. I still feel very comfortable. My seat this is the lowest setting, and I feel exactly like I'm in the classic old Model Y. What else is different? This is the same. That's the same. I kind of like the old steering wheel more. Let's take it on some more bumps right now. So this road here has a lot of bumps, and this right now would be very jarring on the old classic Model Y, but I think they've softened up the back even more, so there's less kind of head toss going over bumps. So now it's kind of more of like a normal car versus like a firm, like sporty suspension of the old Model Y. So it does feel really good. Steering is light, but I have a feeling I've read this online that the rate of steering is slowed down, and I could tell that now that it is a bit slower to respond. The original Model Y had a really fast kind of steering rack where like very little input gives you a lot of turning. I've also just noticed, and I don't know if I like this stock is either on or off, and it feels a bit cheap actually. Because with the old Model Y, there would be like a soft touch, so I could press it gently, and then I would have just like 3 blinks for like a lane change. But here it's either on or off, and then it'll automatically turn off if I complete my turn. But I don't know if it'll. I think I prefer the old stocks with the soft indicator. This feels pretty good. Carry over switches over here. There's now a screen in the back here too, but I think it's detecting there's no passengers, so the screen is actually off. We could show that off camera later. There's no lack of power here, certainly. It's still a really sporty, accelerating car. So, although there is no soft indicator, after I did a lane change, it did actually turn off, so that's nice. So they did it through software. Very smooth ride. So I think they did a lot of things right here. They they had a lot of complaints with the old car that it was too firm, too much noise, and I think those concerns were addressed pretty well. What I would love, what I would have loved to see on the new Model Y as an owner of the old Model Y is perhaps like a vehicle to load functionality, like Hyundai has with the Ioniq 5, basically having a putting in an adapter into the charge port to give you like an outlet to do appliances. That would have been cool. It would have been also nice to see like a higher voltage architecture. So like instead of 400 volts, 800 volts, again like the Hyundais and the Germans are doing now, because that would have unlocked perhaps faster charging. Because I think the motors and the battery, everything is carryover from the old car, so it doesn't charge any faster. That's kind of a bummer because this is still a very efficient car in its class, and the new one is supposed to be even more so efficient than the old one. But for like road tripping ability, like we road tripped our Model Y quite a bit, and to cut down charging stops from like 20 minutes to like 10 minutes, 15 minutes, that would have been even better. But like I said, the Model Y is not exactly like a class leader in charging or in like ride quality, but as a package, this car now is even easier to recommend to people. Um, the suspension is a big improvement. So like I'm loving this ride here. It's kind of more livable day to day. Again, wipers. So Tesla does wipers with camera-based detection. So that's why it's like nobody I talk to loves Tesla's automatic wipers, and I think I would have loved to have wipers back on the stock here just so we have more control. Because what I typically do is I press the button on the stocks for my wipers, and then I select the speed manually with the scroll wheel or the touch screen. I don't really love to have wipers over here, but it is what it is. I don't know whether Tesla thought this would be a nice cost-saving feature or like a benefit, but I don't know. People love stocks. At least they brought the turn stocks, because I don't know if I could live with the turn signals being on the steering wheel. I think that would have been like a deal breaker for me. People on the internet discovered that the shock absorbers for the new Model 3 Highland are actually interchangeable or retrofittable to the old Model 3. I'm really curious to see if these shock absorbers for the new Model Y are retrofittable to the classic Model Y, because if so, I think I would actually love to see if that's possible for me to get that on the classic Model Y. I think that might be a worthwhile upgrade, because the car hasn't changed like that much. Like there's a lot of really incremental improvements here to make this a really good package. But I think if you have a classic Model Y, I don't know if you should immediately sell it to get this one. What
Have
else?
you tried the front camera yet?
Let's see that here. So the backup camera, and now there's of course the new front camera. So this would be really good for front parking into parking spots, so you don't run into a curb. I think this would actually be really useful on Tesla sedans, because sedans are lower and the front bumper is lower. So that would actually help you with parking. Yeah, the auto wipers are not doing auto wiping very well. I think they're on right now, but they're not really wiping. Let's put it here next to the Cybertruck. I instinctively went here for the reverse, but it's not there. I think that might take some getting used to if you're getting this car. Cameras are really sharp, as they're always on Teslas.
Not having the stocks, I think it was a bad move because it's so intuitive now. Like to press the stock, now you have to look on the screen. Is kind of
Tap to park. Yeah, I agree. The stocks are a big omission. There are aftermarket options, but there's our Model Y right there. I think I missed it during our test drive. This is a much more refined experience. This is Tesla again getting more experience at manufacturing, design, listening to customers. I think if you get this car, you'll be very happy. Um, if you have an existing Model Y, if your lease is coming to an end and you want to jump into a new one, I think that's a good call. If you have financed or bought a classic Model Y, I don't know if it's like, especially with the depreciation on EVs right now, I think hold on to your classic one for a bit longer. Maybe if the ride, like I'm used to the firm ride, but if it really bothers you, maybe there's aftermarket options or retrofit options for the classic Model Y. So this has been a look and a test drive of the new Model Y Juniper. And if you found this useful, I'll leave my referral link in the description. If you use that, you'll get a discount on your new Tesla, and it'll help me with some supercharging credits because I love EV road trips. So yeah, thanks for watching. See you in the next one.